Well, howdy everybody, Johnny Piazza here, host of Dream Makers, and thanks for tuning in to today's episode. It's gonna be a super cool one because we're headed out to Colorado to a little place called Lyman. And we're actually gonna be meeting up with the guys from J&D Outfitters where they're gonna be taking out 2 of our veteran recipients on a hunt for whitetail and pronghorn antelope. And we're actually gonna have another hunter. His name is Dave Lipp of the Outdoor Adventure Foundation. He actually pulled some tags as well. So he's gonna be joining up to film all the action and to hopefully get an antelope and a whitetail of his own. Now here's the deal, folks, is we got a ton of action on this episode. And this is gonna be a 2-part series, and this is part 1. So you're gonna have to stick around to catch it all right here because we're about to get it started. Now, before we get started, I've got to tell you about the Outdoor Adventure Foundation and how we're able to bring you this show, Dream Makers. Because Dream Makers is brought to you by the Outdoor Adventure Foundation. And what we do here is we provide hunts and other outdoor adventures for youths under the age of 25 with life-threatening illnesses and disabled combat veterans. And that is a very key thing right there because you see a lot of kids getting taken out on this show, a lot of kids with life-threatening illnesses, but we also are big on taking out veterans for their outdoor adventures. You know, the fact of the matter is if you're out there and you're an American, you need to thank a veteran because everything we have, our freedom, our country, our way of life is all due to them because they truly do put everything on the line. Their physical health, their mental health, and some of them, unfortunately, don't walk away from it. So if you're a veteran out there, we want to say thank you. And as far as the veteran recipients we have coming up, both Scott and Derek, you're in for it because you are well deserving of the hunt you got coming your way, guys.
Hi, my name's Scott Adams. I'm retired Sergeant First Class, United States Army of over 22 years. I was with the 303rd Military Police Company and we were stationed Fob Spiker in Basra, Iraq. It was my 6th deployment and we went and got in convoy and we started doing our patrol to meet up with Iraqi police, and within 5 minutes of the convoy, the driver swerved to miss a pothole, hitting another pothole, bouncing the rear vehicle around, and the tire and the fuel tank I was sitting over hit that pothole, which had an IED in it, which was 2 anti-tank mines laced with white phosphorus, and blew up right underneath me. Shattered both my shoulders and broke my back, and I was covered in diesel fuel at the time, but I didn't know. So I jumped up again in panic and started running until somebody tackled me and put me out with a fire extinguisher. I struggled every day, but life's what you make of it. If you sit on the sidelines, you're going to remain on the sidelines. So opportunities like this and great people and organizations like Outdoor Adventures and J&D Guide Services, providing this type of atmosphere, this type of recharge for us to feel like we belong again is something you can't give back, you know, and this is what I chose to do, what I love, and the people you meet that give you these opportunities, and the fellow veterans that you share camaraderie with. You can't replace that with anything. It's a memory that you have for the rest of your life. It makes you feel good inside and it makes you want to keep going.
Sergeant Derek Lee Goodridge. We came out here to do a pronghorn hunt doe and whitetail buck hunt. So February 3rd, 2011, I was in Sangin, Afghanistan, and somebody had stepped on an IED pressure plate directly behind me. There was 3 of us that got hurt that day. I ended up losing right arm, almost lost both legs, traumatic brain injury, right lung collapsed, and a bunch of other shrapnel wounds. My favorite, that's one of my favorite questions is, well, how do you shoot? How do you shoot? Well, I shoot just like everybody else. Close the one eye and pull the trigger. But my best friend is tripods or bipods. I'd rather not wound an animal and then let it run. But hunting to me is not just going out and harvesting an animal, and I use that meat, I use that hide, I use almost every portion of that animal. And then going out there with, whether it's another veteran or whether it's me bringing my kids out there, It gives me the opportunity to A, either hang out with somebody, or B, teach my kids and educate my kids about the sport. Hunting keeps me going. It drives me. Whatever that next thing coming up is, it drives me and pushes me.
Now clearly both these fine gentlemen have put it all on the line for our country. And in order to say thank you, the Outdoor Adventure Foundation is going to fulfill their dream of going on a Western hunt for whitetail and pronghorn and make those dreams a reality. These dreams are made possible by Cullen Children's Foundation, Sanford Health, the Alex Stern Family Foundation, Anderson Trucking Service, and Shields.
I'm Dave Lipp. I'm the cameraman with the Outdoor Adventure Foundation. I've been a volunteer for the last 6 years. Gone on many trips and recorded lots of different hunting, fishing trips. And on this trip, we're going to Colorado. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm also a veteran of the Iraq War. I went to Joint Base Balad in 2009, and looking forward to getting together with some other veterans and having a good time hunting with J&D Outfitters.
See what happens when you pack last minute? You gotta make a stop at Walmart.
How are you, Danny? Good to meet you, Scott.
Derek.
Sir Derek, great to meet you, sir. Welcome to camp.
Now this hunt would not be possible without J&D Outfitters. They have set this up to hopefully put our hunters on some pronghorn and some whitetail. And J&D is owned by Doyle and Jamie Worthington. And Mr. Doyle himself, he's a veteran too. So long story short is we're gonna have a camp full of veterans that are all about making our recipients feel at home and hopefully making them have a successful hunt.
I'm Doyle.
Derek.
Derek, good to meet you. Scott, good to meet you, Scott. Absolutely.
Scott, Jason.
Yeah, I think we'll go check everybody's rifles and then probably have an early supper and then have a plan for tomorrow.
I'm gonna be using my old trusty 30-06 with 150 grain rounds. And Scotty's using his 7mm Remington mag.
That was good. Done shooting, guys did good. Head back, relax, have a good steak dinner, and get after it in the morning.
So our hunters went to the range, shot their guns, and they're feeling super confident. Now they just gotta get out and do some hunting. So now Polaris is actually a sponsor of the show. So they hooked our recipients up with some UTVs to use in order to get around this open Colorado terrain a little bit easier. It sure is gonna help them cover some ground. So when we get back from the break, our recipients are gonna tear off into the wild blue yonder and start doing some hunting. Stick with us, Dream Makers will be right back. These dreams are made possible by Cullen Children's Foundation, Sanford Health, the Alex Stern Family Foundation, Anderson Trucking Service, and Shields.
It's a chilly morning, brisk 14, so we'll see what happens.
see how those are watching, so it must be. We'll see what they do.
We saw something back there, big body coming this way.
So our recipients, Scott and Derek, have been having a good time so far. They've seen some animals, they've had some encounters, but nobody's pulled the trigger yet. Because what this encounter proved is one thing, that this hunt may be a little bit more difficult than what they previously thought. But that's all right, because our hunters still have plenty of hunting left to do.
Okay, today is day 2 of hunting. We're out here in beautiful Colorado, and we are gonna go chase some antelope this morning. Yesterday we struck out on a couple whitetails, but we're gonna let those sit for a little bit, chase some antelope, and then go get some more whitetails tonight.
So antelope kind of get a bad rap sometimes as far as meat quality goes. Every antelope I've ever eaten has been phenomenal. Literally one of my favorite wild game meats. So yeah, they're just hunting for does, but hey, they're just hunting for does. That means better meat quality and better steaks to take home. And I'll tell you what, each one of these guys is hopeful to go home with some antelope.
Go out looking for some pronghorn. Female, try to find us a nice big doe. See what happens. Hold on, let me get you a distance. 315. She's fine. Still there. 320. She's over 3, just right below her back. Just hold right below her back. Now she's gonna be on the far left. Let that other one clear though.
Ready when you're?
All right, let her have it. Great shot. Beautiful. Dropped her. Go ahead and put on safe. That was a good shot, bud.
Thank you.
Great shot. Oh, great. Good job, bud. Good job.
So, whop, Derek drops this antelope doe right where she stands. And keep in mind of his disability. You know, Derek lost his arm fighting for our country. And here he is in Colorado making a great shot on an antelope. And hey, Derek, you were the man in my book before, but now you are the Mac Daddy brother man. Good shot, Derek.
Yeah, so we jumped in the wheeler this morning, came driving around, came up on this little herd of, there's probably 15 to 20 antelope. Found this doe that was 320 yards away, and I jumped out of the wheeler, laid down on the ground in the prone position, and let her fly. And she dropped in her tracks, and now we're up here. But thank you to Outdoor Adventure Foundation and all my guides from J&D Outfitters, Jason, and for letting us come out here, bringing us out here, and definitely going to be a hunt that's going to be remembered. Thank you guys for that.
Legal, brother.
Thank you, sir.
Good job.
So to some people, this may be just an antelope doe, but clearly this is a big outdoor dream coming true for Derek. You know, Derek and a lot of our recipients, they don't get to do this all the time. So the fact that he got to come out here and experience a big outdoor dream, whether it had antlers or horns or not, is a big deal to him. And it is so awesome to watch that big outdoor dream come true here with the Outdoor Adventure Foundation.
The Minnesota Outdoor Adventure Foundation, amazing organization as well. They've obviously gave me the opportunity to come out here, and thank you to those guys. Like, thank you for giving me that one last hunting trip out of the year and sending me and Scott Adams out here together. Somebody who I haven't had the opportunity to see in the last 3 years or something like that. So thank you guys for that. I really appreciate it. I know Scott really appreciates it.
Tell you what, Derek still has a buck to go, Scott still has an antelope doe and a buck to go, and we've still got a lot of hunting left to do. So stick around, Dream Makers will be right back. These dreams are made possible by Cullen Children's Foundation, Sanford Health, the Alex Stern Family Foundation, Anderson Trucking Service, and shields. Welcome back to Dream Makers, everybody. Now, one of our recipients, Derek, just put his antelope doe on the ground, but we've still got one more antelope doe to go. Scott's got to get one. Now, here's the deal about antelope. They are very territorial. They tend to maintain the same area. So if you think you know a place where antelope are hanging out, most of the time you can go there and find them. So Scott's guide, Danny, he knows where to find these antelope, and he's gonna go see if they can run into some.
Today we're going to be hunting pronghorn. See what we can drop today. We saw some really good herds yesterday, and we're going to head out to where we saw them, and we're going to see how this day turns out and hopefully bring something on the board.
Well, if the opportunity presents itself, I guess I might do a little hunting too. But I'm a strictly cameraman for now. If I get the chance to hunt, I'll throw on my orange and get after it.
So the guy's working on some antelope, and they get pretty close, almost too close, all right? Antelope are curious critters, so they actually start moving their way in a little closer and a little closer. But the deal is eventually they get too close and see what our guys are up to, and they take off. But here's the deal about antelope, is that sometimes they'll give you a second chance. They're gonna do one of two things. A, is they are clearing the country, or B, they're gonna stick around and give you another opportunity. The only question is, can they make it happen this time?
So we got some antelope that are down in the next to the creek, and we're gonna go up above and get the sun in our favor so we don't have to look into it. That way our hunter will be able to have a clear shot, and should be able to creep down one of the drainages over there and get him a look.
There she is.
So Scott gets back on the same herd of antelope does, but he wants to make a good shot. There's a lot going on, so he's gonna sit back and wait for the perfect opportunity.
Okay, now there's two walking together. She's still the one in the back. She just stopped. Yep. She's gonna turn. There you go. She stops again. Okay, she's got the buck behind her. So see the two together? Okay, she just stopped. There's a single doe off to the right. She's 271. Okay, she's the last one on the right, facing to the right.
Broadside to us?
Yep.
Okay.
Don't jerk. You squeeze that trigger. Squeeze.
Right on it.
Kill it. Nice.
Oh, beautiful.
Nice shot. Hammered it. Good shooting. Where'd he go?
Appreciate it.
Good job. Hammered it.
That's awesome. Well, we ended up having a stalker, and she moved down a little group of other antelope down below a ridge, and we got up on top of the plateau, the ridge, and the bluff area, and we got to the opportunity. Mr. Doyle knew exactly where they were heading, and we moved up top and had a great overwatch. We went to the edge, set up, and waited for the right moment, and
Nice.
oh, beautiful.
Nice shot.
So Scott makes short work of his pronghorn, and now he too, just like Derek's, got some meat in the freezer.
Outdoor Adventure Foundation, I can't thank them enough that they've gotten involved with veterans, and they give us the opportunity to do this as well, because you know, a lot of us just don't have that family anymore that we used to rely on, depend on, and again, like I said, this is a trip of a lifetime.
So overall, this has been a great hunt. You know, both of our guys got antelope does, and they had a lot of fun. And actually, Derek shot a buck of his own. Now, kind of got chaotic, and they weren't able to get the kill shot on camera, but he still went home with a beautiful buck. Now, as far as how these hunts come together, we really do have to thank the guys from J&D Outfitters because they provided this opportunity for our recipients through the Outdoor Adventure Foundation. And this was just a life-changing experience for these guys. It was absolutely awesome. The guys from J&D Outfitters, you know, they put on this entire hunt through the Outdoor Adventure Foundation, and they allowed our recipients to fulfill some big outdoor dreams that, quite frankly, probably wouldn't be possible to them without the Outdoor Adventure Foundation and the generosity of these fine people. And if you want to get involved, all you've got to do is check out the information on the screen, where you'll find everything you need to do in order to become a dream maker. And if you're out there and you're looking for an even easier way to give, all you've got to do is text GIVE2OAF at 21000 using our Spare Change app, where all your spare change will be donated towards our mission. It's a really small way for you to give, but it makes a huge difference to us. And me personally, I want to thank everybody out there for watching and everybody that's contributed to our cause, because it sure is special to be able to bring these big outdoor adventures to you right here on Dream Makers. But that being said, it is not over, folks, because we still have hunting left to do in part 2, because we got a whole nother episode coming at you where Scott still has to get his buck and Mr. Dave Lip is gonna go after some does of his own. Stick around next week for part 2.